And welcome back to the Financially Simple Experience. So friends, today is an episode that I have been wanting to record now for many months. It's almost like a fireside chat. It's been in my head. I've been doing some research around it, been doing some thinking, some meditating on this particular episode. And it's one that I think that we as business owners need to hear, understand, and prioritize. So many times when I watch social media, YouTube, various things, I see entrepreneurs talking about how much they work. I'm getting up at 4:30 in the morning, I'm crushing it, I'm working 75 hours today. And to that I want to say, why? Why? I want to unpack this idea of prioritizing our calendar. Now, it's not an unheard concept. We often teach about things like block scheduling, if you will. Whenever we're talking to entrepreneur doctors, we'll say, hey, if you can block your schedule in a certain way, you can be more productive. That's managing your calendar. In my old landscape company, we used to have routes, and so we would block our routes together so that the vehicles are more efficient. They were closer together and they didn't spend as much time on the road, thus they became more profitable, and that was prioritizing the calendar. But so many of us business owners, we get caught up in this success or the business itself, and before you know it, we ended up missing the things which are so important to us. There was a study found that said that 70% of us business owners work at least one weekend per month. 1 weekend per month. The Alternative Board, which is another study, revealed that 19% of entrepreneurs work more than 60 hours per week. I'm guilty of that. Been there, done that. There's a survey by score.org that discovered that only 57% of us business owners take a vacation. And those of us who do take a vacation, 67% of us check into work while we're on vacation at least one time a day. We're workaholics. I get it. The point is that we often like what we do, or we're enslaved by the beast that we've created. One of the two. To me, I really like what I do. I like helping people. I like encouraging people to move forward in their own lives. I like watching business owners and people reach an aspiration, do something that they never dreamt was possible before. I love that. Your business is a key part of your life. I get it. But should it be the most important? Should it be the most important? What about other areas of life, like your physical needs, your relationship needs, your spiritual needs? There's an ancient Greek physician, Herophilus, who perhaps put it best when he said, when health is absent, wealth is useless. Recently, I heard a friend of mine say, what good is wealth when you don't have your health? I was talking to my son one day about wealth. And he said, Dad, I want to be rich. And I said, well, son, you already are rich. He said, no, I want to be filthy rich. And I said, okay, let me ask you a question. Would you let me cut out one of your eyeballs for $1 million? Now, he looked at me like a calf looking at a new gate. And you may say, Justin, that seems awful kind of terse to be talking to your son that way. But he looked at me and he said, well, no, that's stupid. And I said, well, that means one of your eyes is worth $1 million. So that means you're worth $2 million. You have two eyes. Let's talk about your fingers. Could I cut your fingers off for $1 million? He's like, no. And I'm like, cool. Now we know you're worth over $12 million. You got 10 fingers and you got two eyeballs. If he's worth $1 million, you're worth $12 million. And he began catching on to the fact that life is more than money. And many times I've made the statement that I'll never forget my father telling me one time, early in my career in the world of finance, as he was watching me slip into the industry of greed, if you will, he said, son, life is not about getting all you can, canning all you get, and then sitting on your can. Now, I understood what he was saying. As a country boy, I understood it was getting all you can. In other words, accumulate all the money you can. And then when he said canning all you get, that's a farmer's term. Many times we'll can, or we'll take green beans or corn or some other vegetable, and we'll put it into a jar or a can, and we'll pressurize it so that it'll stay preserved for a long period of time. So he's saying, son, it's not about getting all you can and then preserving it and then just sitting on your laurels. That's not what life's about. He went on to tell me this old proverb that we've often heard from various types of speakers on various types of different illustrations, but nonetheless it was, son, there will be a day when you're on your deathbed and those around you are not going to worry about how much money you've made or how much money you spent. Those around you in your deathbed are going to be there because they love you for who you are, not because of what you've done for them. So I asked the question to myself as I've been thinking through this, managing my calendar, being efficient with my calendar. How does Justin Goodbread avoid losing the most important things in my life, while at the same time pursuing the aspirations, those big, hairy, audacious goals that I, as a business owner, that you as a business owners have? Sometimes people look at us as business owners and are like, you're only in it for the money. And many times that's not the case. Yeah, we want to get paid good, but many times it's about, can we do this? There's endorphins that are released by us being able to move our business to the next level, whatever the next level is. And many times, it's not about the money. But how do we pursue the things that really just drive us, that are ingrained deep within our person, without losing the most important things in our life? Now, each of us have things in our life that we would classify more important, perhaps, than our business. What are yours? The way I look at it is the old analogy of the big rocks. So you've heard the example before of getting a jar and you put the big rocks in first and the little rocks in next, in the sand, then the water, and now you have a full jar. For me as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, it's extremely important that I understand there are big rocks in my life that I cannot delegate to somebody else. There are big rocks in my life that only I can take care of. Interestingly enough, we would mostly identify our family, perhaps, our spouse, significant other, as one of those big rocks. For me, it is. It's important. My family, Emily, Savannah, Justice, Jude, and my extended family, brothers and sisters, father-in-laws, mother-in-laws, cousins, nieces, nephews, all those, it's important. That's a big rock in my life. And most of us as business owners would agree. In fact, I talk with so many business owners who say, I want this business to be passed down to my kids or to my nieces and nephews, because we really, really genuinely believe our family is a big rock. Run.io reports that among the top side effects of a poor work-life balance is the damaged family relationships. Damaged family relationship is the top side effect. Interestingly enough, according to Business Women's Media, the divorce rate for entrepreneurs is 43 to 48%. The divorce rate for entrepreneurs is 43 to 48%. That is strikingly, I would say glaring, I would say almost mesmerizing, so much higher than the national average. For non-entrepreneurs is only 14.56% in 2022. Think about that. We business owners have a significantly higher divorce rate than our non-business owner counterparts. But yet, for me and for so many people I speak with, our family is one of our big rocks. It's one of our top priorities. But yet, we end up, through the detriment of our business, causing our family to look elsewhere. You see, oftentimes our families may see that every minute we're not physically at work, whatever that may mean, we're thinking about work. We're not thinking about our relationships. Not only is your family, but there's other things in our lives that we often forsake for the sake of business or for the sake of our company. There are 3 big rocks that I personally have. Now, yours may be different, and that's okay. One of my big rocks is my faith. I deeply believe the ethos of who I am is grounded in what my beliefs are. And whenever I'm out of whack, whenever my faith is weak, whenever I haven't taken time to nurture my person, then my business suffers. My family, as I mentioned, it is a huge priority for me. Whenever I'm not nurturing my family and they take a back burner to my business, my family suffers. Another one is my health. As some of you know who listen to the podcast for years, my dad passed away unexpectedly. And it left a chasm in my person. It hurts. He did the best he could to take care of himself, but nonetheless, he's no longer here with us. Passed away at a young age. And I vowed on that day that I would do everything in my power to prevent my wife and my children from experiencing what my mother and my sister and brother and I experienced. Now, my dad didn't do anything wrong. God took him home. But man, what a pain that I have in my own person because he's no longer here. So my health is a big rock for me. There are efficiencies and there are boundaries for every business owner, and schedules across multiple different types of industries can reflect that we as business owners often easily place the business ahead of the big rocks in our life. For example, in the financial advisory space, it's not uncommon for us to spend about 20% of our time actually meeting with clients and the rest of our time doing things that perhaps we're not paid to do. We don't manage our time effectively. I work with a number of dentists. I love the dental community, and they're very interesting because about 33 hours of their work week is actually treating patients. Whereas if they're working a 36 or 40-hour work week, the rest of the time is worked in the business or working with their team. In the construction field, about 61% of construction businesses allocate less than 20% of their time to work on their business. You see, the average entrepreneur spends 68.1% of the time working in their business, tackling the day-to-day, putting out fires, spinning the plates, yet only about 31.9% of our time working on the business, the long-term goals, the strategic planning, things of that nature. And we business owners, we entrepreneurs, focus so much time in the business that we forsake our lives. Often people ask me, they'll say, "Hey, Justin, what do you think about this business person or this talking head or this pundit?" And it breaks my heart to see these people, which are often idolized by working 90, 100, 175 hours a week on their third, fourth, fifth marriage. Their kids are just devastated. They're missing mama or dad. Their lives are in shambles. Their health is just horrid. They're out of shape. But yet they have a business and they're idolized because of how much money they make. Friends, that's not what I want. That's not what I want. As I look at this 2024, this calendar year that we're now in, I'm thinking to myself, the older I get, certain things matter more and more. My three rocks, right? My faith, my family, and my health. They matter a lot to me. But am I just saying it? Am I giving platitudes? You see, in my own life, I've made some rules. I don't work on the weekends. It's my family time, period. And our family time, we'll spend our Saturdays working on the farm. We'll spend our Saturdays traveling. But the weekends are for family and my faith. We go to church on Sunday mornings. That is my weekends. I will not answer much, try to at all, answer any type of work issues on Saturdays or Sundays. During the evening times, there are some nights that, hey, you're not going to catch me after a certain time because my family is more important than the calendar. In the morning times, I enjoy taking my children to their respective classes or seeing them off in the morning time. I enjoy that. It's protected. It's on my calendar blocked out. There are 3 days a week that I love going to work out with just my wife. My wife and I, we've been doing this for about 1.5 years now. It has been fun to go work out with her. Now, we lift weights, we do things together, but it is just a blast. It's my family time. See, by blocking out the things which are important to me, my health, my family, my faith, my friends, my hobbies, all these things that are important to me, I know that I can accomplish what I need to accomplish as a business owner in a much more compressed time as long as I take care of the big rocks first. So it's January, and this is the time of the year when Emily and I sit down and we schedule our lives. We say, okay, here is whenever we're going to take family vacations. Here are some milestones that we just have to deal with. For example, last year, my daughter graduated. Okay, we got to be in town for this particular day because Savannah's graduating high school. This is her first day of college. We got to be here to see her off to college. This is whenever my family's come to visit me in Tennessee or whenever I'm going to go see them in Georgia. We outline all these time frames. Here are our date nights. This is whenever Emily and I are going to go take time together. Here's whenever Justin's going to go take time for himself and his friends. This is my hunting time, right? I got to have my hunting season. November for me is like, don't talk to me. I want to go deal with my friends and my hobby. But what I've learned is if I'll calendar the things which are important to me, the big rocks, then what naturally happens is my business, the thing which I think is important to me, flows into almost like that water in that analogy. We put the family, my faith, my health, my hobbies, all those things in the jar first, then the business is just going to fill in the cracks. It's going to naturally take care of itself. You say, Justin, you've lost your mind. I don't think so. Let's go back a few years. I watched many business owners during COVID were forced to close their doors. They were forced to close their doors for 5 weeks, 6 weeks, 12 weeks, 16 weeks, depending on what state they were in within the country. But yet when they went back to work, they didn't expand their hours of operation, but yet they produced the same amount of revenue on a calendar year, even though they closed their doors for 4, 5, 6, 7, 12 weeks, as they had done the previous calendar year. Why? Whenever you become focused on calendar management, then that compression of things that need to be done, the business side of things, the work side of things, day in, day out, it will fill its void. And what we saw is as business owners became hyper efficient. COVID revealed so many things, so many facts, so many principles that we can deploy in our own lives if we just take a step back. So let me challenge you. It's January. And you're saying, Justin, I can't take time away from my business. Not even a few hours. If I'm not there, the business implodes. Well, friends, and you have a major company-specific risk issue that we need to prioritize and put in some systems and processes and a team that they can execute and help you in your absence. You need to reach out ASAP, and we need a plan in place. But for most of us, let me ask you the question. If you finish up this calendar year 2024, and you're saying, Justin, my priorities, these are what really matter to me. Maybe yours is your health. Maybe it's your family. Maybe it's friends. Maybe it's experiences. Maybe it's your faith. I don't know. Maybe it's travel. Maybe it's whatever it is. Maybe it's you want to go see the Pittsburgh Steelers game, every single football game. Whatever your goals are, may I challenge you to take a moment, pause, calendar your life for this year. If you have a significant other and they are truly your priority, which as many of us they are, may I challenge you to schedule some dates, some vacations, some weekend getaways, some time off during the week, some just because moments, some midday lunches, something that you can show your significant other, your spouse, your wife, your husband, whoever it may be. You can show them how much they truly mean to you. They can experience that, hey, I'm more important than this business. May I challenge you to prioritize? Maybe it's a hobby. I've been laughed at many times. I've been ridiculed, but I have this hobby. In September, I love to go to the Rocky Mountains and hunt elk. I love the physical endurance of it, the challenge. I love God's creation, just seeing, just no one around, me and the creation. It's a priority for me. So every September, it's on the calendar. Every November, I have a group of men that I go with, that I've introduced my son to, that we go hunting together. We just sit around a campfire and just laugh, and it's so refreshing to my soul. It's so important for my boys to see other men and how men can laugh and be good for each other. That's a priority for me. Those are on the calendar already. Vacations, dates, things of that nature. Whatever it is that's in your big rock, man, I'm going to challenge you right now to make them non-negotiable. Maybe, just maybe, you're in a position where you're saying, I'm not working Fridays. I'm not working Wednesdays. I'm going to take off. I'm going to work 4 days a week. If that's you, make it non-negotiable. The reality is this, our business will fill in the gaps. It will fill in the gaps for anything we don't schedule. If we do not schedule intently the things which we are deeply concerned about, the things that we say are our highest priorities in life, if we don't schedule them, then they won't come to be. Schedule that vacation. Schedule that date night. Schedule it multiple times throughout the year. Block your calendars. It'll be interesting to see if we do that, friends, and we live through this 2024. We live the calendar, how much more efficient our production will be through our work, as well as how healthy our relationships, our health, our big rocks, those things which we innately say are non-negotiables for us. So just a fireside chat. We as business owners, let's take a moment. Let's calendar some things which are priorities for us so that at the end of this calendar year, we can look back and say, man, 2024 was the best year ever. I hope it is for you. If you need help, you want to have somebody to chat with, you need a business advisor, reach out to us. Till next time, friends, y'all make it a great day.